Start, you ready? Okay. So we've started a page, if you want to, to go around for the, for the purposes of the audio though, let's go around the room as well. So Janice Gilly, Escambia County.
Jana Still, Escambia County.
Debbie Bowers, Escambia County.
Wes Marino, Escambia County.
Jamie Higdon, Escambia County.
Michael Rhodes, Escambia County.
Adam Reed, Escambia County.
Wesley Hall, Escambia County.
Curtis Howard, ATU.
Mike Lowry, ATU.
Steve Livings, Fleet, Escambia.
Lorraine Hudson, Clerk of Court.
All right, and online? Kristen's on mute.
Did you hear it?
Sorry, Kristen Hewell,
Let's see
Escambia
that
County.
after you sign it. After you
Thank you.
David, is it recording?
No, that's what
I just
happened.
emailed
I just want to make sure those mics are on too. She can hear you, right?
Yeah.
Are we
So you're recording on that? He's recording.
Okay.
He's recording on that. Okay. All right. Well, I hope Mike's okay, because he was here with us for about an hour, or for 45 minutes, so I don't know what happened. Well, I guess we'll start and see, was there anything that you all wanted to start off with us first? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 articles.
No, we kind of been waiting for the wage thing. In response to the wage. But y'all wanted to try to close that out by the first of the year. So
Yes, we would love
it's a big
to.
priority for us, and you have that. We do have stuff to give you, but we'd rather start with that so we can kind of move our day if possible.
Okay. All right, so you have, so let me just be clear, the wage, the articles that we have today, we have 10, 11, 14, 15, 16.
Oh, slow
Oh,
down.
sorry.
10, 11, 14, 16,
15, sorry about that, 15, 16, 18.
16, 18.
Okay, you're too fast. I'm sorry.
I'm so
10, 11,
sorry,
10,
it's not
11,
fair.
14, 15,
14, 15,
16,
16, 16, 18.
20 and 23.
20, 23.
As open.
We have,
Well, we
yes,
have the-
we
Oh,
have
you
them
have
here.
proposals on
Yeah,
it.
we have, yeah. I think, and
Based off
Kristen,
previous
was there anything that we should add to that
Yeah,
comment?
proposals on the proposals, that thing.
No, I believe that
So we'll have to
these
look at it.
Okay.
are in line with what we all discussed at the last session.
Mm-hmm,
Correct.
yeah.
We have something, but we'll look at hours to make sure before we get
Okay.
the hours, make sure we could agree to it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
And then we have a couple of others that we could discuss, and those would be Articles 4 and 8. But we would like to probably get through these, and whatever you've got that you want to discuss, and the wage discussion. Okay, so you might want to get yourself signed in.
I gave it to her.
Who has it?
Lorraine.
You know how to share your screen?
I can do it for her.
Go help her share her screen.
You want to do it now?
Yeah.
You want to pull up the email I sent you, the attachment? Look at you go, one, go. I just don't know where to go now.
Okay, so the wage proposal that we have for you today is what I would say is our best offer from the county. And, you know, we've been trying for a year. We started a year ago with the, what we called a pilot program, trying to help some of the areas that, that we had difficulty in trying to recruit in. Since that time, in the spring and the summer, we expanded that to be most of the classifications, if not all the classifications within the unit, got an increase, you know, in the proposal that we presented to you in the summer. And so what we've done is, we have provided, if you could, yeah, make that a little bit bigger for them, I think.
Zoom in.
Yeah, I didn't bring my glasses.
Okay, come down a little bit, all right.
You
I
don't
know.
have it in a written form, paper form for us?
I will have something for you in
We
writing.
do have the
that-
wage proposals. This is just explaining how we got there.
Oh, okay.
You zoom in a little at the bottom.
It's just hard to
Make it a little bit
see.
bigger.
Zoom in,
Yeah, I
zoom in.
know.
Lettering is what's- okay,
All right,
there
so
we
we'll
go.
just
We
go.
can scroll down.
There we go, there we go.
All right, so if you will notice what we did, so this is, I want to be very clear. This compensation analysis that we did was as a direct request of the commissioners. they wanted to make sure that the proposal that our team was providing you was in line with what we were seeing in the, what the compensation schedules were in the industry. So you are going to see some things are a little bit less than what you saw in the summer, but some of them, once we did the analysis, we went up on them. Okay? So it's not going to be exactly what you've seen before, but I'm telling you, it's our best offer, and the commissioners have seen this, and they know that this is what we are offering you today.
So the
So-
first column, sorry.
Yeah, if you'll go back up to the top, Lorraine. So the first column is where we are currently with the base pay rate. The second column was the comp analysis that was done on the base pay rate, and the third column is our offer today. The paper that we will give you will be the actual offer based, the way it's provided in the current CBA, so you have the classifications, the DBM and stuff like that.
Can we get that too?
Yes, we absolutely can get this to you. But we wanted to show you, you can see that there, I would say, for lack of a better term, that the board and the county's being extremely generous in terms of the comp analysis and what we are recommending. Our goal
Who did
is
the
to.
comp analysis,
HR.
so your department.
Yes, sir.
And would you like to discuss how that analysis is done?
I can. So we do it on 3 different levels. We do it on a national level to see where the national average is. And then we do it on a state level, so we did just Florida. And then we do a regional level, so we do similar suited municipalities. So we look at other agencies like ourselves and see where they are at. And based off all of that, all 3 of those analysis, we aggregate it together and come up with an average, an overall average, and that's where that number comes from.
Okay.
These are the starting wages that you're,
Correct.
Yes, these would be the starting wages. Now, as we've discussed on numerous occasions, we understand there's compression. We understand that. And I know that's not your preference, is that there's compression. But sometimes there's compression. The other thing I would share is that this is the unit that the board has been working on.
Madam Ware?
There's Matamore. This is the unit. Okay. This is the unit that the board has been working on for a year, because as you know, these are very, obviously, important, critical jobs to the primary services that we provide. And as you know, it's a very tight labor market in terms of recruiting folks. And we want to make sure that we are, putting good salary opportunities out there, along with the benefits package that the county provides. So this is what we have. And then we have also included the new classifications as well.
So everybody in these current job titles will be moving up to that?
Correct. If
they're
there, anyone
not
who's
there
below,
already?
correct.
Correct. We've done the
Yes, sir. We
analysis
did do
on
an
that as
analysis
well.
on how much
Mhm.
it would
you
impact.
can provide that to us too and show us who's getting what? Is that correct?
I think we just did like an overall number, but we can go back and
Yeah,
run
we
the
did.
actual names. We just
Yeah.
looked at the number value of how many people would be impacted in each classification.
Do you have an estimate of the percentage of the bargain unit who would get
Let me.
impacted and who wouldn't, due to the fact that they're higher than what's being offered?
Yeah, we did that, I'm sorry, we did do that analysis probably back in one of those previous meetings, but we can do that. So, all right, so here we have this. And this shows you it shows you the classification, the division, the class code, the pay grade, and the pay rate. Okay? There you go. I can start your hand those
Was it you,
guys.
me, just do the pass down? There you go. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Jana, can you make sure you already emailed this to Matamore and Kristen?
Yeah, so, Matamore and Kristen, I emailed this to y'all, what we're presenting to them right now in terms of the wage proposal.
We got extras. They can have extras.
I got it.
Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Yeah, we've got extras.
Yeah, I made a lot. Wanted to make sure we had enough.
Okay, so we will work on getting those numbers for you, so you can see how many How many current employees in the unit are impacted?
Okay.
The other, uh-huh,
Just want to make sure I'm on the same page. The pay rate on the far right of what you just gave out is on the far right of this.
correct.
Correct.
Just want to make sure.
Yes, sir. It's not in the same order.
No, that's why.
This is the way, yeah, yeah, it's not in the same order, but it is the
Yeah,
same
that's
pay
the way
rate.
it's presented in the contract, so that's why it's a little wonky.
So,
So, is there, obviously, there's gonna be a percentage of those that are above this wage
Correct.
rate, the starting wage rate, right? I get that there's gonna be some that are gonna be impacted and moved right up, correct? What about those that are above? Are they being offered anything, or is there no wage increase offered to them for the next fiscal year, for this fiscal year, I should say?
well, what I would say is that we need to get agreement on this, and then I would say that we would need to probably talk to the directors to see, if there are opportunities for others to get increases, within the departments.
Okay,
In a good news, I would say that the board last night did provide an opportunity for existing employees to now, to get the 10% when they did get a promotion. So I think that was a good, positive move for the employees that are, getting promotions or getting bumped up. So if there are those, maybe they would be impacted by something like that.
okay.
And just
Although
to
I would say
expound-
that some of these are more than 10%, so.
The current policy only allows a promoted employee to go up 5% or to the base of the new DBM.
Right.
What was changed is it went from only 5% to at least 10% or to the base of the DBM.
Right.
So it doubled the percentage increase that they get.
Right. I saw that last night. Yep.
All right,
Okay.
so do you want to go over these articles as well?
If you don't mind.
Okay. Here y'all go. Here, you hand out a whole
I was
bunch.
about to say,
How many
like-
do we have? Let me make sure these guys
I was
get
gonna say,
3.
yeah, let me- Yeah, just make sure those three here for sure. I don't know how many we have.
Here you go. Okay. And Kristen, Mike has this too, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and Kristen, if you'll just be, if there's any questions in particular on these that they have, if you can just, I know you'll help us out, but I think they're fairly
Yeah, these are the articles that we agreed to maintain the status quo for during the last session. And any changes to those terms, are highlighted. Except, I don't know,
We're not-
I'm sorry, on Article 20, what's highlighted, I believe, was actually the status quo.
Okay, we understand.
So Article 20 in the 2015 agreement stated for more than 14 consecutive days. And let me, previous contract, 2009 was,
Why are we worried about 2009?
She's comparing it to what's existing.
so, it's, this is sits in excess of the original language with both them.
You're not-
Kristen?
I-
Didn't understand the word. She-
Yeah, I know. Hey, Kristen, you're cutting out fairly severely.
The status quo language stated for more than, and as it says in excess.
Well, if we wanted to stay with if we were staying with status quo, why would we change it?
Well, that's perfectly fine, and I can make a change. I think it was an oversight.
Okay, so did y'all want Kristen to resend it back as, with the previous language as status quo, or did you want to just look at it and see if you had heartburn?
I think we got it in ours. Let me see if we got it in ours, but she may not have to.
Oh, okay, I see what I did. It says for more than, I added at the end of the sentence, in excess of 14 consecutive days, just as a clarification, but it doesn't change the intent.
Yeah, she did.
Hate to be, when we agree to the same language, then you may change to it, that's not agreeing to the same language, even though the intent doesn't change. So, you know, I understand what you're saying, but don't make the comments to us that it's the same when it's not actually the same, but, I mean,
Mr. Howard, that was why I highlighted it and underlined it, so it was intended to be a proposal.
okay.
You can accept or reject that.
I understand that, but that's not what you said, but okay. So should we go review? Yeah.
All right,
We'll review them, we'll take a copy and review them.
all right, and would you
Well,
like us to bring
also-
back 4 and 8? Or do you have something you're gonna bring to us?
You can bring back 4 and 8 from your perspective, and we can continue to talk on it. Yeah,
It's 4 union rights.
Yes, please.
I think we had some TAs already on that. We had a bunch of TAs already on that. And 8 is which one? Let me see what 8 is. Leaves, okay.
We haven't signed any TAs regarding Article 4. I think you communicated that you would accept certain paragraphs of part of our proposal or something or other.
Yes, that's what we're reflecting of.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yep, yep.
All right,
And we'll come back.
Bad, we didn't have Facebook back then. We
no,
memorialized that.
Nope.
Okay. Well, we
Nope.
went to Biloxi a lot. We were only an hour away from the casinos. We went to the IP a lot.
oh, that's right, because you're right down the road.
Fun
Right.
times.
Okey doke. All right, are we ready to get going?
Yep, give me 1 second.
All right, give them 1 second.
TA from the packet that you gave us was 10, 18, and 23. We signed off on them, and we have a copy for you to sign off on. Where's your copy that you signed? Okay,
So she needs to sign off and then give us.
and then we need to get a copy, because we only have one copy. Or-
I'm gonna sign my copy, and then we'll trade the,
Absolutely.
23.
10, 18, and 23. So there's our copies, and then I'm gonna go over that. I don't know, I don't have enough for everybody, so.
okay? All right, so we said 10, 18, and 23.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you hand me these?
That's for us? Thank you.
And we'll make copies and I'll.
Well, you don't have to. She's got a complete set, and he signs
Oh,
this, and we'll have
JK,
one.
I forget.
So thank you.
Everybody.
Are you ready, Ms. King?
All right, you want us to hand these out?
Yeah, to whoever.
All right, you have, the three of you have a set?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we may have to scan these and let our team know, but we're more than happy to. Okay.
And I'm just gonna go over them right quick.
Okey doke.
Y'all can caucus.
All right, you want to tell us the numbers,
Absolutely.
okay, so that they can follow along, and we'll,
We're gonna give proposals for Articles 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 11, 14, 15, 16, 20, and 21. And I'm gonna walk through because, just so you'll be okay with where we're at.
I'm wondering if we could scan this in and get this to,
Kristen and Matamore, yeah, I can do that.
can you go do that? Okay. We're gonna scan copies, Mike and Kristen, and get these, to you guys, okay?
Can we go through them first?
Well, we wanted them to be able to look at it as y'all go through them.
You not have them?
Or- Could- yeah.
No, we don't have them. where we can
Okay.
do it.
You can go do that.
It's not that much.
Oh, okay.
No, it should take her.
Well, maybe Kristen can,
Yeah, it's not that much, trust me.
Okay.
And if it's a question y'all have, then we can always come back and answer them and do anything. All right, so on Article 2, what's in yellow is gonna be, and it says it on there, that's our new, new language. Article 3, what's in yellow is our new language. Article 4,
The green.
the green is only what we've already agreed to, though.
No, green is what we're agreeing to. The
Right.
sections we're agreeing to.
Right, what we are agreeing to with, from your proposals to ours. So that's kind of simple. Article 4, the same thing, everything in yellow is what we're offering, is in new language. What's in yellow, what's in green is always gonna be what we've already talked about and agreed to. Article 5 is the same.
oh, they didn't get a copy.
Let me write down the numbers real quick and then I'll.
It's in here.
Yeah, and the only thing I'm telling you is the color coding, basically, so
Yeah,
you'll know when you caucus. The only one I really want to bring attention to is Article 16. Well, 14 too. 14 and 16, but 14 is just saying that you guys will pay the employer's portion and we will pay the employee's portion at age 60 to 65. So just wanted to bring that out. But on 16 is the one that's important to us because I crossed it out on all of the packets that I gave you. And the reason why is 16.1, we agree with you. However, we just wanted the bottom part that we've discussed before, is that's only having a representative that sits on the healthcare committee. That's all. So we're not, when it's crossed out, we're really saying we agree to it.
you're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay,
But since we had that extra language, we'll leave it in.
okay.
So that's it. The rest of it is in yellow, and it's language that you haven't seen before.
Okay,
That's why I
All
said,
right.
by the time you scan it over, that's self-explanatory. Both of them will get it really quick. But 16 is the one that's more important. But we think that you've already told us that that's what you're gonna do.
okay.
And we'll be in the other room.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I might wanna go get some lunch. What time?
Yeah, I think we'll do lunch, because I think we can caucus at lunch, or we can, actually, we need to give Matamore and Kristen time to look at this, so that we can talk with them.
So is it
All right.
safe to say, can you give us a 30-minute window when you think you're gonna be ready, and then we'll be ready to come back within those 30 minutes?
Yeah, I would say, it looks to me like it could be as long as 1:30,
Okay, well, we'll just plan to be back at 1:30.
1:30 or 2.
One thing.
Okay.
I mean, well,
Well,
we
we
do
need
want
to
to read
scan
those
this.
too, yeah.
Yeah, we need to scan that and get
Two
that
works,
to them.
that gives an hour to discuss and an hour
2
to.
o'clock, okay.
Why don't we say 2 o'clock?
Yeah, that's fine.
That'll
If-
give-
If it's earlier, just call us and let us know.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Dave?
Oh, and before we leave, I do want to talk about the pay, because you gave it to us. So part of the problem with the pay is not the way it's presented. We still would like for you to send us over the chart that we asked about where the encumbrances.
I did, I sent them, I sent
Did
the
you?
chart in, and then I ended up sending the percentage too, to show what percentage is being
I
impacted.
did see the chart, I didn't see the percentage.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, Ms. Gillian, the problem that we're having is, we represent the workers that are currently in your workforce. Your proposal is asking us to represent folks that's not even in your workforce possibly, because it's all starting wages. So when we come to negotiate a contract, we're not opposed to what you've given us. But it's not doing anything for any of the current employees in which,
Well, actually,
I'm
I
not
think
gonna say
60,
none.
I
I'm not
think
gonna say none
60% of them
right.
will see an increase based on the calculations that we've run.
but,
The 40%.
but the 40% is still part of the percentage that has to help ratify this contract.
I understand.
And so, it's still a concern of ours that, they have some type of increase. And the other part of it is if I'm wrong, just, I don't work here, live here, but nobody got an increase this year, across the board. So, our folks are not gonna receive anything, and so that's a concern for us, that some will and some won't. That's some division, and I'm not saying they all have to equal the same, but everybody should get something.
I understand your perspective and your
I know-
position.
Yes, so I just want you to know, and I know Mike wants to speak, and if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Livings wants to speak on it.
Well, let Steve.
Oh, I was just gonna say, this proposal, it does not reflect any of the conversations I've had with the commissioners from our end. And there's some type of miscommunication going on, I believe, so.
So,
I don't know.
obviously, it's a concern to try to ratify a contract and to convince an individual that's sitting there watching 60% of the workforce get a raise. And they're sitting there with more potentially, the way I'm assuming the breakdown's gonna be, it's gonna show that the 40% are usually individuals that have more time in service. Right? Because they've been here longer, and that's why they make more than that offered beginning wage. It's gonna be difficult to see how they react to that, and, and we're gonna have to explain that to them. And, but you made a comment, you would go back to the department directors. And so I would think that that would still remain that article open until that has been done, and we can see if they can have it in their budget to help those existing loyal employees if they can get something as well. But we're not opposed to what you're trying to attempt to do to help your,
We're not countering what you put out. We're basically gonna accept it, but we need to know about the other ones before we can just say we TA that whole article.
I understand.
Right.
So we're not.
Well, I want to tell you that I really appreciate that consideration, because I think you know as well as we do that it is difficult to get talent right now in most positions. So,
And we want people, the people that you'll be hiring to come in and, be able to pick
qualified.
up and qualify. So we're not opposed to it. We just have to, we work for the members that are here too.
I understand.
That's all.
The trick
Okay.
also is to keep the members.
I
the talent you
understand.
have.
that's my fear.
I know that.
Which,
I
that's why she
understand.
pointed out the fact that the policy did change, so when somebody is promoted from now on, it.
Is that
they enter the-
promotion only from what, promotion to what, from each step?
It's
each-
anything that's considered a promotion. If you're,
classification?
if you're promoted to a higher class, a higher DVM, that is considered a promotion, and that's when it would come into effect.
So if
That's
you're
the way it
a
used to be, and they
operator
changed
one
it.
and you go to
Five
operator
goes
two,
back.
it kicks in.
Correct.
So can you give us something saying that too in writing? Just, I mean, I know it's a policy from the county, but it would be good so when we talk to our members, they would understand that too. Now, not all positions would go there, but
Right.
definitely 1 through 4, operators 1 through 4, equipment operators 1 through 4, let me say it right. Definitely have that ability to get that part of the work.
Unless you're a 4.
Right, no,
I
I said not
know.
everybody's
Because there's
gonna
not
get
that
it,
many
but-
managerial or supervisory positions
But it
to
is
go beyond
something.
that.
It is something, so,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Right.
because your offer did change $2 from them.
Mm-hmm.
You had a $2 increase when you first gave it to us at each one,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
then you took it back, so.
Because we based it off the comp analysis. So when we saw the comp analysis, we were trying to be, we're still above what the average was, but we wanted to be more within reason when we presented it.
Got you, but
Well, and I will tell you this, I think that we did make a bit of a numerical error in that, to be honest with you.
Fine.
Because I think that we were a little bit more than I think we thought we were gonna be able to do, and so, you know,
it is what it is, but having that part of a package that says if you're going from a 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, that you'll get, you know,
The
that's
increase.
not gonna be in the collective bargaining agreement if we don't put it in.
I understand. Okay, all right, well, we're saying 2 o'clock. Mike and Kristen will get this to y'all so that y'all can look at it, and then we'll plan on reconvening with y'all via telephone. Can we do that with y'all in an hour? Would that be okay?
Sounds good to me.
We wanna leave our stuff in that room, Mike, or we wanna take with us?
I'm sorry, Kristen, what'd you say?
We'll see you at
Is
2
that-
o'clock.
Bye all.
Yeah, we'll send you probably a different invite, so it's just us.
Mr.
Okay.
Griffin at Paratran,
Thank you.
Okay,
just to talk about a vacation bid.
okay.
So we'll probably just go in the other room and do that.
All right, did David had to leave.
Oopsies. We're working on it.
Oh, wait, I think we can hear him now.
Now y'all can hear us. We were muted, sorry.
Okay.
We can hear y'all. All right, so everyone's back in the room now. All right, so we're ready? So going through what y'all gave us, so with Article 3, the proposal y'all gave us, we're good with that. Good with the changes made.
Oh, slow down.
Sorry, Article 3, general provisions.
So we'll be able to TA that. Okay.
All right, and then with Articles 11, 14, 15, 16, and 20, we would like to stick with the status quo as previously agreed upon in our previous negotiation.
Why 16? It only says that we have a representative on the healthcare that we're supposed to have anyway.
Correct, that's county policy. There's a policy that stipulates that we have to have a representative from all the unions.
And so what's wrong with putting it in our contract?
They're talking about
We can talk
16.
about that. Let's put 16 aside because,
Okay.
we'll talk about that in the next caucus, but 11, 14, 15, and 20 is status quo.
Okay.
And then we do have counters for 4 and 8. So, we will give those to y'all.
Thank you.
Just to let you know, it prints double-sided, so.
Sorry,
eight
thank you.
comes out.
Okay.
Okay. And then, with Article 2, of what y'all presented, we're not agreeable to the language that was added in about the job specs. And then with 5 and 6, we're not gonna be able to agree to those terms, and it's something that we're just gonna have to come back to the table about.
All right. What about 20 and 21?
So 20 was part of the status, we wanted to take it to status quo. And then 21, we were just gonna, 21 just gonna put it on hold until we kind of get further along.
Okay. So the only thing you have counters on is 4 and 8,
Correct.
and the rest of it you would like to keep on status quo.
Well, we spoke about it in our previous negotiation sessions, and the understanding was had that y'all are agreeable to that as well.
And just to clarify, that's from 11, 14, 15, and 16. And as Mike said, we will
Talk about that.
consider 16, or reconsider 16 during my talk.
Okay, we understand.
What about 15? Have you had a chance to look at 15?
That's part of the ones we were talking about with status quo. It's 11, 14, 15,
Oh, 15
and
is
20.
Okay, I didn't hear that. Okay,
In the consideration of 12,
12.
wages,
Oh, I was like, they didn't get 12. Y'all didn't give us a counter.
we can give you one if you want one. I'll email you a count.
explain what our original proposal had.
Yeah. Our original proposal had 3% in it, but we'll send you a count.
Okay. Clarification on Article 16, just because the one I have has an X through the first part.
Yes, and
So you're saying remove that entire thing?
no, I explained it
Okay.
earlier, and
Sorry.
that was, we agreed to it.
Yeah.
Since we agreed to it, I took it out of our proposal,
Gotcha, I see what you're saying.
and the only thing we wanted was
The new language.
to add to 16.1,
Okay.
which we find it hard to believe that you would tell us you don't want it, but it's a policy already.
So, well, I mean, that's why I said we'll take it, that's why we pulled it out to talk about it.
Yeah, we are going to consider it in the caucus.
Okay.
So on 5 and 6, you're not agreeable to our proposal, but are you agreeable to status quo for those two articles? Or is that something you'd consider, just keeping them both at status quo, or no?
No, I don't believe so. And we've provided proposals. We've not received a written proposal for you on 6, just the suggestion to maintain status quo, but we did provide a proposal for 6, I believe back a year ago. And we've also provided a proposal on 5.
So I'm a little confused on 5. I need to ask a question about 5. In your proposal, let me pull it up. Let me just grab it real quick so I can make sure I understand. Because we read something and I want to make sure I understand what it means. Because I think part of our problem was we weren't sure what it meant. So under 5, let me find your proposal. There's a language in there somewhere where it says that the employee has to determine whether they're going to be represented by the union or some other representative or something. What does that mean?
So which section are you talking about? Sorry.
So I have to find the language, but let me see here.
I believe it's in 5.02, election of process.
Yeah, we're not interested in that.
Yeah, I just didn't understand what it meant by some other representative. What does that mean? Or a represented by the union or other designated representative, what does that mean?
Presumably, someone may have an attorney represent them, or they may designate someone else. There could be someone other than the union, I presume.
Yeah, we're not interested in that.
Well, the bulk of that is the staff.
Breaking up.
Yeah, she's saying the bulk of the language is statutory and that it's coming straight from what's quoted in
It's
statute.
really just more clarification.
All right. Okay. So we take a break, we'll go look at 4 and 8? Okay.
Time is it?
Can I ask a question?
2:30.
I mean, I just, dumb question, for me to understand. 5.02 says to be represented by the union and/or whoever they want to be represented by. Can I ask what the problem is with that?
Yeah, if you read the recognition clause and on the perk, we are the exclusive representative of the bargaining unit.
But it's still the employee's right to decide if they want to invoke that right for the bargaining unit.
They can use the grievance process.
They can use the county's grievance process, and especially like with the final, they can like go to our MSPB or they can go through the union. They can't do both though.
I just wanted to answer your question. They're not gonna sell me on what they want. I understand very well. I'm good. But doesn't mean I care.
Okay.
That's not nice.
It is nice. I'm here to do a job.
To care?
ATU pays my salary.
I know, you said you don't care. That's not nice.
I mean, they want an option.
All
I
right.
understand they want an option.
You leaving tonight?
We're not gonna utilize all our resources and make it easy for them.
You leaving tonight?
No,
I'll be here till.
just to clarify, an employee can
You
invoke
don't- you
this
don't- you don't
grievance
have- you
procedure
don't have to-
without the union.
You don't have to, I understand, you don't have to. I got you. If I had to go stay at a hotel and it was crowded and stuff, I had to stay like, man, way down there. Yeah, the weather got bad and I couldn't get out.
You good?
All right, we're good?
Stay by house?
No. I'd have had to play
You're gonna have to get up to
PlayStation.
feed the chickens and the
Yeah,
ducks.
I'd have had to play PlayStation. The wife would have been fussing at me too, just like she's fussing at him. No,
I mean, the chickens could have been fun though.
Yeah, you'd have to feed, you gotta get up and help feed the chickens.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm a city guy. I don't fucking feed.
I'm a city girl, and I got chickens.
Oh, yeah? I can't
Oh,
do the
yeah.
chickens.
Down by my.
Oh, my Lord.
Telling them I have a fetish for alligators. I like alligators.
You like to play with alligators?
I don't play with them. I didn't say that. I like alligators.
I know you love gators.
Ew.
We're not talking about them kind of gators.
Yeah, I was about to say, sorry. Alrighty, so, well, just real quick from our side, we went back and looked at 16, and we're okay with the insertion of the language, because it is, I mean, it's
So we
in our
can-
policy as
we
well,
can
so.
Wrap that up for next time then.
Correct,
Okay.
to TA, and then with 5, we're good with status quo.
Okay?
So we're good with it too.
Yeah, they
So
go.
that's a
we can
TA.
just-
Okay.
And 3 is a TA.
I actually signed our version. Did you wanna do that
For which one, sorry?
for 3? Is that the one that you guys are good with?
Yes, but Gilly would, yeah, have to sign it, and it would need to be redone, yeah. Yeah,
No, I'll bring you guys
of all of them.
copies the next session.
Why you never accept the way we type it up?
Well, because it has green highlights.
Thanks, you.
It's not the final product.
I'm sorry, Kristen, Curtis would like for you to respond.
You can type it if you want and send it to us, and we'll sign it and send it back.
No, forget it.
Yeah, Mike, I like your style a little bit better.
Yeah.
You always work. So, it is Friday. We will have to counter Article 4 and 8 that you just gave us. And so we want to take time to do that. Let's see, what else is it? We're gonna go back and review, the videos. We don't recall where we said that we were status quo for all of those articles. However, if we,
We did.
if we did so and it's on the video, then we will honor what we said we would do. So that's not an issue, but it's just not in our notes. Which one did you say, 15?
No, well, that would cover, what, 11, 14, 15, and 20.
right.
And then, they're not agreeable to 2,
Yeah,
and
6.
that would leave 6 open too as
That would
well.
leave 6 open, and 2, 6, and 8.
8.
We will give you a counter on.
4 and 8.
I'm sorry, 4. 4 and 8, we will give you a counter on.
What number are you again?
4 and 8, we will counter.
And not 2 and 6.
Yeah, 6 is kind of, let me look at it, but I think that's where we kind of like our 6.
We didn't offer a 6 because that's,
We just said status quo.
That's why we like it.
We're willing to live with it.
Yeah, so we'll maintain our status quo.
Okay, so just making sure we're TAing 3, 5, and 16. With 11, 14, 15, and 20, y'all are gonna verify what the previous agreement was. Y'all are gonna provide counters to our proposals today of 4, 8, and 12. 21's on hold, and so that leaves 2 and 6 still open.
That is correct.
Let me just check some.
We agree with half of your proposal in 12, but not the full proposal.
Okay.
So we're gonna counter it.
And it's my understanding that Mike Matamore and Kristen and Mark Floyd are working on the bargaining unit
Clarification.
clarification. Is that correct? Mark says you all are getting very close.
well, we've spoken, and
Okay. And then the appendix, by the way, the appendix that are in here, I think we're gonna have to give you a copy of our dues deduction form, correct? That you're gonna need the one that's for $13.95, not $17.71?
Okay.
The dues authorization form?
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
And so what's your position on Article 2? I'm sorry, I don't have it written down.
It's the insertion of the verbiage, the highlighted verbiage that y'all gave us. We were not agreeable to that. So the BCC agrees to discuss with the union prior to assigning different job functions to employees to ensure that it does not violate the intent of the job descriptions filed with the PERC.
Okay. So you're okay with the
But if I could say something about that. 2 things. One is, I think we have to have language in Article 2 that reflects the unit as amended, because if we agree to this certification and this appendix, and then we go forward with the Mark Floyd's amendment, it'll be out of date almost immediately. So I think we have to have language in there that indicates unless amended, or it'll be that certification in the form amended or updated by the Public Employees Relations Commission. So I think we need to have that kind of language in there. And the kind of concern we have with that sentence is that, I'm not quite sure what we're trying to get at, but, you know, when you submit a job description to PERC, it's just so that PERC can look at the job description at that point in time, that snapshot, and make a decision as to what unit it should go in. But job descriptions can change. And the job description that may be sitting in the file at PERC could become outdated. So I don't know why we would have that sentence.
Okay.
Okay, we understand what you said, Mike. Okay, so that's,
We're talking about dates.
yeah. When's the next time you want to get together, Mike? Of course, it'll have to be in January, because I'm on vacation the rest of the year.
That's nice.
How nice.
I know. I wanna come. I was about to say, that's literally what I was thinking. I can fit in a suitcase, just saying.
I was actually on vacation today, but, because of you guys,
That's what we thought, Curtis.
Yeah, so, next dates,
Yeah, go ahead. Look, somebody suggest something and we'll check it out. I got my calendar ready.
go ahead.
We don't have,
15th and 20th.
I'm saying, we don't have Gilly and she's
Yeah,
the main
then
one, but we'll,
The week of the 7th is not good. Oh, hold on, there we go. The week of, I think it's the 11th through the 15th is not good for me. Got a GB meeting on the 8th. I'm not working on Martin Luther King's Day.
Let's see.
Um,
Oh, yeah, let me ask this question.
That's on their website.
On your website, wow,
How about Thursday the 21st?
wait a sec, wait, I gotta bring this up. On the website, it says, on your own website, it says January 17th and 18th. What month, oh, that's 2020, no.
Oh, shit.
So,
Dude.
I'm free, Mike, if the rest of the team is free, I'm free on those days,
What days?
the 21st and the 22nd.
All right,
21st is meeting.
what'd she say?
21st is a board meeting.
22nd?
I'm good on the 22nd.
Gilly, are you,
What about Wednesday, the 20th? I mean, when are we gonna get both units, the next negotiations for the other unit too?
We can do back-to-back dates.
Yeah, but she says the 21st is a board meeting.
yeah.
What
Would you
about
be able to
the
come in?
27th and 28th? One for ECAT and one for this property? For the county?
I'm good on the 22nd. I don't know if some of you already.
I'm good on the 22nd.
I'm good on
I
27.
was about to say, Janice, can you see your calendar real quick? What does your January 22nd look like?
As long as I was okay, everybody's good.
Well,
That's it.
January 29th,
Neither do
Oh, I know.
the day before Mark's gone.
I'm good anytime.
The day before. 15th, we're getting together too.
Okay. Well, I can't do the 15th, but okay,
Oh, I look good in the morning.
got you.
Oh, actually, wait, sorry. I look good from noon on January 22nd.
Well, that's not good, because, you know, the county folks don't usually like to work late on Fridays.
No, we blame that on us. I ain't taking that one.
Well, I will say this, we already have, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 articles that have been TA'd, 3 that were TA'd that will come back and bring clean copies for next time. So I don't think we have as much left open for
If we-
discussion.
If we start at 10, by noon, she'll be here, and then if there's any decisions that have to be made, we could do it when she gets here. But we could try to knock
Yeah.
out some things beforehand, some cleanup or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
Okay, the 22nd it is.
Bingo.
I guess I should have been texting.
Jenna will have to start thinking about dates for the ECAT group too. But it doesn't look like we're gonna get back to back. Looks like they're gonna be separate dates.
Okay, that works for me. Everybody have a happy holiday.
Oh, yeah,
you.
thank you. Hey, enjoy
safe.
your month off.
Yeah, you and I will let you everybody be safe.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike, thank you, Kristen.